Aloha to the lahui. Welcome back to Connect the Dots with Jenny. What a day. The jury is officially in deliberation. I'm going to bring you all the news. We had two crazy notes today already on the first day. Come on, guys. We didn't expect to get a verdict today. Okay. So this morning, Judge Arun Subramanian read to the jurors all the charges, gave them all of the instructions and the stipulations. I read through it and there was some pretty interesting things in there. Um, what was it? So, for instance, like with RICO, they have to prove that there was acts done for 20 years, from 2004 all the way to 2024. They have to prove that. They have to prove that Diddy was at the top of the organization, was a part of the enterprise, that he consistently had the same type of actions that was upheld. So like the security guards did the same thing, the assistants did the same thing, KK did the same thing. There had to be consistency on in how the organization was ran over the course of 20 years. Now, that was something interesting I thought when I read the instructions, the charge sheet. It's the charge sheet. So the judge early this morning at 9:30 a.m., that's where he began reading to the jurors exactly what the charges were, exactly what they needed to find, and what qualified for the charges. So, for instance, another thing that they had to prove, I believe it was RICO, and it was a predicate act under RICO. They had to, sex trafficking and prostitution. All of the jury, you had to unanimously decide on one specific sex trafficking act and on one specific prostitution act. And it had to have happened sometime between 2019 and 2024. So that is Jane Doe. Okay. I believe that's easy to prove because they have all those they have American Express receipts. They have so many receipts of airfare for flying these male escorts all over LA to New York, Atlanta, Florida. Like that is hands down proven. But I find it interesting that they have to find it within 2019 to 2024. And it has something to do with a 5-year statute. And I want to say it's on sex trafficking and on prostitution. And I find it interesting that all of the jurors have to unanimously find a predicate act and agree on at least one. So in order to find Diddy guilty on RICO, they only need to find two instances, two acts. So in my opinion, during this whole trial, the prosecution, with all the witnesses and the evidence, the testimonies, the text messages, the exhibits, have proven way more than two predicate acts. Way more. They've proven a lot. So to me, it's not hard for them to choose out two. They only need to choose two times, two acts, period, any two. But I think that little piece where all of the jurors have to at least decide on one act, I think that's really interesting. So, excuse me. So today, this morning, is when they went into deliberation. Excuse me. Ideally, what's talked about by the government and on media and whatnot is that they want to have a verdict before 4th of July. 4th of July is on Friday. Excuse me, you guys. Sorry. Something went down the wrong pipe. Anyways, Friday's 4th of July. I think Thursday would be the soonest that we would have a verdict. We're not too sure now. Today, big news. Okay. So there's a note that comes out. Okay. So they picked who their foreperson is. The foreperson was juror number 5. The foreperson is basically like the leader of all the jurors. They're the ones who's going to be the contact person between the jurors and the court. They all decided who the foreperson was going to be, and it's juror number 5. Okay. So sometime this morning, I want to say it was around 11ish, they send out a note that juror number 25 is being difficult, apparently challenging. Initially, when I read up about it, it said that there was a language barrier, or no, it was somebody who was there. But then we find out this. Okay, let's see. Juror number 25, a 51-year-old Manhattan man with a PhD in molecular biology and neuroscience. So He's obviously intelligent and he obviously can comprehend. So they sent a note out. This is the exact note that they sent out to the judge. It said, "We have a juror who we are concerned cannot follow your honor's instructions." Apparently, he's potentially what do you call? Oh, not complicated. I'm so sorry, guys. My brain's like going a mile a minute. I have so many things. This is like my fifth video today. Um, he's complicating matters. From everything I've read, he's just very stubborn and he's very strong-minded and he just wants to do what he wants to do and he has his own ideas and he doesn't want to follow the judge's instructions. And so I think it's very interesting that, already we're getting a note that's like, hey, listen, we have this one juror who's kind of like going rogue over here, doing their own thing. That which makes me wonder, right? Does that mean that all the rest of the jurors find him not guilty? And this one thinks he is guilty. This makes me wonder if this one automatically thinks he's guilty off the bat. And this is why. I'm going to tell you why. So I did some digging. Inner City Press, right? He's the one who transcribes everything in the testimony. He wrote back in May 5th when they were doing jury selection. Juror number 25, I have a PhD in molecular biology. I listen to NPR. I like documentaries about climate change. My domestic partner, he is a graphic designer. So we know juror 25 to be male. He is a white male. He's 51 years old. He's gay. He has a domestic partner. He went to school. He's got a PhD, so he's educated. He likes to listen to NPR and he likes documentaries. Okay, so he sounds educated and informed. So it sounds to me as if he already has made his mind up and he already knows, which can be a good or a bad thing, right? This is the main thing about this whole about this whole case. All of it hangs in the balance of the jury. They need to all unanimously decide whether or not Diddy is guilty or not guilty. And if they find him, if they cannot unanimously decide that, it's going to be a hung jury. And what does that mean? A hung jury means it's going to be a mistrial and Diddy is going to walk free. Could you believe that? Can you imagine that? Obviously, I want him. I've read everything. I believe that the prosecution has proved their case. But when you have 12 jurors, 12 people with their own mindsets, their own thought processes, their own perspectives in life, you have no idea. You know what I'm saying? You have no clue as to what they're going to choose. I think Wednesday to Thursday is as soon as we are going to get a verdict on that. And then later this afternoon, I want to say around 3 p.m.-ish New York time, they sent out another note. This time they were asking the judge to clarify what drug distribution is again. So then Comey and Agnifilo, of course, they want to discuss how to address that. And so basically the judge is like, do you want me to say yes, like this is what the drug distribution is, and then reread what the instructions are, which Comey was like, that's what I want. I want you to just say yes and read the instructions. And of course, Agnifilo is like, well, I need to confer with my legal team before I can decide. All you do is you read it again. This is what the drug distribution is. Read that. You read that earlier in the charge sheet. Read that again. I don't know what the hell Agnifilo has to go do and conferring. So as far as juror number 25 goes, as it seems, what the judge ended up telling them was, listen, just keep going through the process, keep doing what you're going to do. We're going to kind of decide on this. Because what they can do is they can use one of the alternatives. They still have the alternatives there. They still have the alternatives on like waiting in the queue. I want to say there's 5 of them. So at any point, if juror 25 really becomes problematic, that was the word I was looking for, is really problematic, they can remove him. And all the alternate jurors have also been listening to all the stuff that was happening in the federal trial and seeing all the evidence as well, too. So we shall see what comes about in the Diddy trial case. Although I believe the prosecution has proven everything, like we said, The whole, like I said earlier, the whole jury all have to unanimously agree that he's guilty. And to me, you just never know the way people thinking. It only takes one person, and juror 25 might be that one person. Might be that one that's just like, nope. Either he's like, nope, he's already guilty. I don't even want to listen to anything else. I don't want to go over any other evidence. I already know. I want him guilty. Or he could be like, he's not guilty, and there's nothing you can say to change my mind. Who knows? We don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out in just a few days. I believe the jury is over it. I believe the jury is sick of watching freak off tapes. I believe the jury is sick of listening to all these crazy freak off stuff. They're over it. They're sick of it. It's been almost 2 months of them listening to craziness, to the circus of all these Jane Doe's testimony and all this baby oil and Astroglide and male escorts and peeing in Cassie's mouth and flying escorts all over the country. He definitely did that. Oh, really quick, I just pulled this up. So these are your jurors. There are 2, 4, 6, 7 male jurors and 5 female jurors. You know, when I went on ChatGPT, they told me it's 8 male and 4 female. So I don't know. I'm going according to this, which is the Law and Crime Network. So we have one male, 31. He's an investment analyst. We have the juror 25, who's problematic, 51, a scientist. Another man, 39. He's a social worker. Another man, 57. He's an architect. A technician, he's 68. A logistics analyst, he's 67. And a retired finance, whatever that means, he's 68. So me personally, I kind of like that they're older because I think they're going to have a little bit more wisdom. You know, they're not like going to jump to conclusions on things. Now we have the 5 females. We have one deli clerk. She's 30 years old. She's young. A dietary age. She's 42. Now remember, I am 44. 40s is like the age bracket, right? Of like Diddy was my era. I love Diddy. All that music was my music, and it sucks because now I can't like him anymore. Now we have a 74-year-old female treatment coordinator. So that means to me, that means she works in some type of rehabilitation facility. Then we have a physician assistant who is age 43, close to my age again. And then finally, a female massage therapist for 69 years old. So I do think that they have a well-rounded jury pool. I think it's good that they have 5 women because I think it's important. Because I don't know, this could be my own bias, but I think when women hear about SAs and R words, like it hits us a little bit different. Not saying it doesn't affect men, but I feel like it hits us different. Anyways, I'm glad that they have what sounds to me a wide array of jurors, and we'll see. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep you guys updated, especially this week. I'm gonna try to release a video every single day. My schedule kind of allows me to this week, so let's get it. I will keep you guys posted. Mahalo. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more about all the Diddy news. I talk about Diddy because John Pelletier, who is the Maui police chief right now, was named in a Diddy lawsuit. And the Maui Police Commission did absolutely nothing about it. So I want to bring that news to everybody so everybody can know about the dirty deeds that John Pelletier is tied to in that Diddy lawsuit. Mahalo, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. Aloha.